Hello everyone, my name is Jaylin Jones, digital producer here at WRAL, and I'm so excited because guess what? It is the month of March, but that means that March Madness is here, and yes, March Madness is in the room with us. I'm so excited. It's my favorite time of the year. Tons of games all throughout the day, and guess what? This week, it is ACC tournament basketball time. A lot is riding on this ACC tournament as they're trying to get 9, possibly 10 bids into this league. Right now, I believe the SEC and the Big Ten are tied with about 9-10 teams each projected to be in this ACC tournament. So there's a lot riding of what's going to happen down there in Charlotte with all the teams coming in together. So we're going to talk about the top 5 headlines going into this. Of course, we're going to have some Duke, some NC State, but also have a couple other teams that we need to look out for as well. UNC, this without Caleb Wilson, that's going to hurt them. This team, though, still is capable to make noise in this tournament. Let's get into it. For number 5, I think the biggest headline going into here, I'm calling them the official Bubble King. I think they have the most riding on their performance in Charlotte in the ACC tournament, and that is the Stanford Cardinals. They have a total record of 20-11. They're 9th in the ACC. They're coming in as a 10 seed in this year's ACC tournament bracket. Now, they're coming off a 4-game win streak to end the season, and one big thing I love is teams that are trending hot going in towards tournament time tend to do well in the March Madness tournament. Now, they're playing Pittsburgh Panthers, and kind of funny enough, they started that 4-game win streak for this Stanford Cardinals team. Now, they won Pitt at home, SMU at home, at Notre Dame, and I think the biggest win on this little win streak of theirs of 4 games is in Raleigh, beating NC State 85-84. Now, they're led by a star, a certified bucket getter, this guy, Ebuka Okori. I know there's a lot of big names, but he has to be on your draft boards. 6'2" guard that can do it all. He leads the team in points per game at 23.1 points, 3.6 assists per game, and also field goal percentage of 46%. He's a blazer. He's a bucket getter. Now, collectively as a team on the defensive end, they're allowing 73 points per game, and they are scoring 676.4 points per game, which is about 190th, middle of the pack. This team is a lot of average, but they have a star that has shown up for them time and time again, and Ebuka. Now, here's what I will say. These guys, they can go small, they can go big, they have a lot. They have a couple of 6'9", 6'10" guys, but they also are really small on the guard. So a team with a lot of length right there on the arch, defending on the perimeter could give them problems. But this team, they have the core of things that can be a middle of the pack March Madness. They can get into it. Now, here's the bad downside of March Madness. They're at, I believe, a 28% chance to get an at-large bid. So there's a lot. They still have a lot of work to do. But the good news is they have an opportunity. A lot of teams are done by this time of the year. They still have opportunities to make up that resume. I kind of believe in Stanford to get into the tournament, and I think they're a better team over other bubble teams like, let's say, Auburn or Indiana. I think they have that star guard that can lead them down into March Madness. Now for number 4, we're going down south to Miami. Jay Lucas, the head coach over there in Miami, what a miraculous turnaround. He's one of the surprise teams that was able to figure it out quickly. I had limited expectations going to year 1, rebuilding a program. Miami was bad last year, and especially with the transfer portal, you're able to restock, especially with veteran guys, and they have a star right now. He's leading the team, Trey Donaldson. He's leading the team in assists, 5.9 assists per game, and I want to say this team is going to go as far as he can go. He can start the offense, keep down turnovers. Now, Trey Donaldson, you've known him. You've heard of him before. You saw him a couple years at Auburn. He was a year at Michigan. Now he's kind of finding a home in Miami where he's able to find some success, built a team with his own, and I think Jay Lucas identified him early on in the portal. Now, Miami is 24-7. 3rd in the ACC, behind Duke, behind Virginia. Who would have thought Miami sitting there at 3? Obviously, with Caleb Wilson out, even when he was healthy throughout the year, I would have thought UNC would have been there, or at least NC State would have been that surprise team. But it's turning out to be Miami. Now, Miami, I have a lot of high hopes. They ended the season 3-1. They had a 3-game win streak at Florida State, Boston College at home, SMU, middle of the kind of packed team, kind of towards that elite end, that good end, and then they lost to Louisville to close out the season. Now, they do have a double bye going into the ACC tournament, so they can rest, practice, make sure the cobwebs, they don't build up and that the rust doesn't build up. But I think rest is very important this time of year, especially as those back-to-back games going up, and also with game planning as well, working on those fundamentals, making sure that your sets and your plays are good to go as well. But I'm done yapping about my number 4 headline. Miami, I have a lot of high hope. They are in the tournament. I believe that they are a lot, but we will see what noise that they're able to make, because guess what? Maybe Duke falters and they're able to bring home an ACC tournament champion to crown off this really impressive turnaround in year 1 for Jay Lucas. My number 3 headline for the ACC tournament down there in Charlotte, we got to come back to the triangle. I am concerned for the NC State Wolfpack. They have ended the season on a 4-game losing streak. They did win with North Carolina at home, and then they lost 4 games straight. Was that North Carolina game their Super Bowl, and they lost 2 games before that North Carolina game. They're finishing out the season 1-6. That is not a positive trend that I see for a team that's supposed to be peaking at the right time. And I know Will Wade is frustrated and wants to get this ship right, because, again, year 1, making it to the NCAA tournament, you don't want that to go to waste. Now, NC State, they used to be a lock. I believe that they're on the bubble right now as well. And they have everything riding on their performance in Charlotte to prove to the committee that they can get into the tournament and that they can make some noise. Now, I do believe size is an issue, as you can see at Duke, losing 93-64 with Duke at home in Raleigh, in PNC, or at the Lenovo Center. Excuse me, I'm a little old school. But at the Lenovo Center here in Raleigh, you're losing 93-64 at home to the number 1 team. Now, to be granted, on that 1-6, you play Louisville, ranked 24. You beat UNC. You lose to a really underrated Miami team, which is now ranked as well. They're 3rd in the ACC. You lose to Virginia, which is number 2 in the ACC as well, 90-61. You lose to Duke. And I do believe the toss-up games right here, Notre Dame, you should not have lost that game. Also, Stanford, 1-point game to a future NBA guy in Ibuka, which we talked as the number 5 headline as well. Will Wade has a lot of things to figure out and a lot of things to tinker, and I think he's the coach for the job. He thrives in those tough situations. He has the talent, he has the roster, but basketball is about matchups. And with them lacking in size a little bit and having decent wing play, you need better guard play, better post play. I'm excited to see how Will Wade turns it around for the NC State Wolfpack. This fan base is hungry. I'm here live in Raleigh. This fan base is hungry, and they want to win. I think Will Wade wants to win. I do believe that this team wants to win, but they do have to figure out, especially against these elite teams, that have everything on the line. My number 2 headline going into the ACC tournament, we've got to see what Hubert Davis is going to do with the North Carolina Tar Heels going into Charlotte, everything riding on the line. Caleb Wilson is out, your star, your top secret weapon that you keep in the back just in case, right? And he's no top secret. He's a potential top 10 pick. He's just one of those guys UNC has not had in a while. A lottery pick, a guy that can go get you a bucket, the guy that's athletic and charges up your team and is able to lead, a clear leader. Obviously, they missed him in that final Battle of the Blues matchup at Duke. Now, here's what is Hubert Davis going to do. Now, UNC finishes the season 24-7 and 4th in the ACC. It's not bad. It's not bad. They're ranked 17th. They lost their final, and then they're going in as they have a double bye and going into Charlotte to see what can you put together without Caleb Wilson. I think this is the battle of the coaching, and this is really where Hubert Davis is. This is why he gets paid the big bucks, how to figure out a way to win those games. Now, will they be able to beat elite teams? I don't think so, but being able to make a little noise in the tournament, possibly Sweet 16, maybe get to the quarterfinals, semifinals of the ACC tournament, I think that's still on the table, and to be able to figure out things and to tweak a little bit, see what sets work, see what defensive work, and see what mixed matches that you're able to get, because basketball is a game of matchups as well. This should be no surprise. My number 1 headline is, can Duke be Duke, man? Duke, this is one of the better teams I've seen with my own eyes. Mr. Cameron Boozer, tip my hat to you. One of those generational, those types of seasons that you don't see out of a freshman, especially when a league that's stacked with transfers, stacked with those senior guys. Cameron Boozer was able to lead the team in points, lead the team in assists, lead the team in field goal percentage, and we're still talking about at Duke. Duke, a place that the best of the best come to. Now, can Duke be Duke? Can Duke continue to build momentum? They're ending the season on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game win streak since that loss in the first Battle of the Blues with North Carolina. These guys got to figure it out. This team knows who their identity is. They know who they are defensively as well. They're allowing 62.5 points per game, and they're scoring 82.9 points per game. Let that sink in. I think everything runs through Duke down there at Charlotte. Duke is going to have some sort of home field advantage, at least for this ACC tournament, home court advantage for this ACC tournament. Also, especially on that first round, they're most likely going to Greenville, South Carolina. What is Duke going to do? Maybe they might tinker around a little bit and see how they can play without a healthy Cam Boozer to see, just in case they may not end up like UNC, like we were talking about before. What does it look like without their star player? Well, they have other guys. They got glue guys. They got point guards. I'm not worried about Duke. I think Duke, if I was going to put money on today, they're my national title favorite by far, and we will see what they have coming in this tournament. All right, that is my 5 top headlines going into the tournament. This is what I have for you. Stanford on the Bubble Kings. I think they have the most riding on this tournament. I think they're the most interesting team to see how things shake up and if they're able to sneak a bid. Miami, that turnaround cannot be understated. Then you have NC State. I'm very concerned. But I think Will Wade has the guys. He has the aggression. He's the guy that's going to be able to get the most out of his team, get the right guys walking off the bus and coming out of that locker room as well. Hubert Davis, what is he going to do? I have high hopes. I think so. I think they can figure out a way to win without Caleb Wilson. But again, such a huge loss. You cannot understate. And will Duke be Duke? I think they will. And I think they are going to be your future national champions as I'm recording this. I'm super excited for this year's ACC tournament. I'm super excited for March Madness. If you guys want more content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave in the comments below what you guys want more of. Thank you guys so much and have a great day.